Welcome to the Elements of Spirit readings for the week of August 28th, 2017. I'm your host, Michael Domitrovich. These are free weekly readings from edible.spirit.com, bringing you readings through the elements of earth, air, water, fire, and ether, so that you can work with the primary element that is within your makeup throughout the course of the week. You'll listen to this reading first, the ether reading, and then find your sun sign in the description below this reading, and go listen to that one next. And you put the ether reading and whatever your primary element reading is together, and bing, bang, boom, there's your elements of spirit for the week. Each of the readings will have an affirmation with it, which you can use as needed, or to sort of pull in the influences of this reading for you, or you can do it as like a meditation, or I love Post-its. Just putting Post-its wherever I can. So fair game, all of the above. It's been an intense week, as expected, as they all have been. But there's some interesting stuff that's risen to the surface this week, and we'll see what the elements have to say about it. So without further ado, we'll go into the ether. I don't know what this means, but we'll see. The reverse power of prayer. The power of prayer to reverse. What is it? They say that, like, meditation is a conversation between God within you and yourself, and prayer is a conversation between yourself within you and God. I don't know if anybody's ever said that, but that's how they're spitting this to me right now. Let's see. Wow, okay, cool. It's interesting because we hear a lot about the attitude of gratitude and its ability to, like, shift your vibe and change the law of attraction and make all of your dreams of manifestation come through. But in this case, we're actually talking about prayer, and not just gratitude. So it's like wishing grace for others without doing anything changes the vibe of the whole world. So wishing grace for others without doing anything changes the vibe of the whole world. This is not about casting spells on people, right? That's what I mean. It's not about, like, doing something to someone else. It's not even really about doing something for someone else. It's about, with pure intentions. It's about wishing the best for someone else, and actually, imagine with all of the things that are programmed in our brains, all of the little scripts and programs that are running, the things that we want, the things that we want to get, how we feel, what's been done to us, what we'd like to do, just all of those things are kind of all going at once. The idea here is that when you shift your vibe into not just a state of grace or gratitude, but into such a loving state that your words, your wishes, and your intentions are not actually for yourself and not actually for giving others what you think they need, or unduly influencing or affecting someone else, by simply shifting your intention to hold others in their highest light, in their highest space, to wish them the best, to wish them highest good, and to be specific about it. You are taking back like 95,000 million mind control tactics. I was with a friend of mine not long ago, and we had a cabbie who started telling us that Hollywood was run by pedophiles and Satanists, as was the educational system. And we felt badly because we didn't get in her face. And she said a lot of other shit that was really crazy. We felt badly because we didn't get in her face and sort of stand up for ourselves and for the people that she was talking crap about. But at the end of the day, it would have caused more violence. So we I mean, we're not praying, you know, to the church, even though I'm Greek Orthodox and Christian, you guys might know that. But the idea of prayer as this petition, this request, this focusing of intention for someone even other than yourself, not to unduly influence them, but to wish to hold the space with your focus and your intention and your attention of the best possible outcome for everyone involved, is a beautiful prayer. And what the guides are saying here is that when that intention is really pure and it has nothing to fucking do with you, if you really keep focused on it, and if you work this into your existence and into your daily experience, that shift away from your shit into well-wishing and well-being for others, you actually have the power to change not just your vibe, but to create the potential for like the whole vibe to change. Okay, so there's more to this, and it's interesting that cabbie came up, because it's like, whoa. There's something about difference. There's something about hate. And there's something about the environment. Okay. I don't even have to go into current events. I mean, I hope we all know everything that's happened in the last week. I would say there's been a few things going on having to do with difference, hatred, and the environment. So what do? What the guides are saying here is that you, that's my guides, the guides are helping me to break down this current that's coming in through the ether, which is all about the power of prayer to reverse the vibe. Not to frickin' manifest all the time. Like, maybe if you're okay for just a moment, rather than worrying about what it is that you want or want to create, you can still want it, you can still want to create it, but the idea is that if you have the wherewithal to shift into an energetic state of holding the highest space and the highest intention for whomever needs it, specifically conflicts having to do with difference, of which there are a lot. I would even want to say perceived difference, right? Because difference, hate, and toxicity, you know, we don't want those things. We want similarity, right? Or unity. We want love. And we want purity, right? Purity, clarity. Clarity of the environment. Clarity of the environment. Okay, so it's thick. The bandwidths have been thick. And so my guides are reminding me that we've been talking for the last couple of weeks about what to do and when to do it and how to do it and when to wait. The idea here is that it's now not time to wait anymore. Thank you, Ether. It's not time to wait anymore. If you have a fire in your belly, or an earth in your belly, or a water and air in your belly, regarding reconciliation of differences and the assertion of unity and the assertion of similarities, can you be the one who sees more similarities than differences? Can you be the one who is able to clock why we're all connected more than why we're disconnected? Can you be the one to assert love over hate in hair-splitting instances, even down to the words you use and the way you use them, especially in real life and in the social medias? In whatever way you're platforming, projecting, speaking, communicating yourself. Are you an advocate for love, or are you an advocate for hatred? Which is coming out of your mouth? What are you expressing? And in terms of the environment, actually, you guys, this is a interesting read today. In terms of the environment, there's something really dire going on. I know it's been going on forever and ever and ever, but I just give you what I get from the guidance every week. And there's something here which is like water, trash, obviously natural disasters, Farming. My gosh, this sounds awfully, awfully like Area 51 conspiracy theory-ish. But it's not. It actually has to do with Virgo season, too. Being stewards of the earth. Family, community, neighborhoods. So the way this is coming in is like, you guys, guess what? Nobody's going to fix it for us. That seems to be pretty apparent. And most likely, in the next couple months, some really awful decisions are going to be made and laws are going to be passed about difference, hate, and toxic environment, right? Like toxic. I wrote environment here, but it's the toxic side versus the clean side, the clear side, the clarity of the environment versus the murkiness of the environment. Okay, bringing it all back home. Hope you're with me. In terms of this, it's like, if you're living in a world of difference, hate, and toxicity, it's going to be really hard to do anything but create more difference, hate, and toxicity. And I'm talking to all of the hate mongers on the interwebs and in the comment sections. What really, what's the point? Really, it feels so good. I beg you, especially if you have a conscious molecule in your brain skull, please don't add to the hate. But what the guides and the elements are saying today is that if you're living in a world of difference, if you're living in a world of hatred, if you're living in a world of murkiness, of which we all are, and that's what you see, it's going to be hard to take any real steps or real actions. And this week, they're really encouraging the reverse power of prayer, or the power of prayer to reverse. When I pray for others, it helps myself. When I pray, period, it changes the vibe at all times. When I wish grace for others without doing anything, it's okay because it changes the vibe of the world. So the idea here is like, control your own damn frequency, guys. Control your frequency. Be aware of it. Do we need you to be mopey and dopey? Do we need you to be angry and hateful? No, we need lightness. We need love. We need beauty. And the ether comes in this week to say, hey, look back. Look back at everything that's happened just since the eclipse last week. I do believe that something has taken hold. I do believe that something is standing up and rising up within each one of us. And I rarely talk about beliefs on here. I do believe this. Oh, gosh, there's all of this folk music welling up in me right now. I'm sorry if I'm annoying to you this week because I don't know. There are practical steps that need to be taken, and there are vast energetic sweeps of difference, hate, and toxicity that are not benefiting any of us. But the idea is that if you can't do the thing, do something. If you can't control legislation, control your fucking vibe. Right? I'm talking to myself. Would never say that to you, but I'm talking to myself. And if you can control legislation, if you can write your representatives about whatever, remember, I'm not like talking to either side here. Whatever side you're on, you have a right to express yourself too. You have a right to say who you are and what you want, but not if you are hurting or harming or violating the free will of anyone. And all of the difference, all of the hatred, all of the toxicity in the environment, actually, thank you guides, comes from the violation of free will. The violation of free will, disrespect of our unity, disrespect of our shared love, disrespect of the purity and clarity of consciousness within us, which should be mirrored by the purity and clarity of the environment without us. But it's not, because the environment is not clear, and the consciousness is a little murky. Or a lot murky. The pain, the tears, the stuff that's been flying out of me since the eclipse has been profound, but I know something good has anchored. I know something lasting is in there. I know that all of these emotions, all of these feelings, all of these sort of time warps that feel like nightmares, like I thought that went away. I didn't think that was in me anymore. Also the retrograde, Mercury retrograde, is still unfurling for the better part of the next week, you know. Change has come, but it's not all encompassing. It's almost invisible, right? Visible only in the form of horrifying catalysts that are inciting us to change internally and then externally. I'm not going to keep going on because I have some other readings to do for you. What I would encourage is to recognize that you can shift something at all times. You always have the power to shift something. You always have the power to pull your head out of your ass, or out of your drama, or out of your misery, or out of your pain, or out of your overwhelmment, or out of your intensity. And not just say thank you. Say thank you so hard that I want to wish for others. I want to spend time not thinking about myself. I want to spend time not talking about myself. I want to, in the eclipse meditation last week, it was this beautiful, simple, guided thing where we asked the guides to show us a representation of the globe, and to show us on that globe every area that was hurting or in pain or needed love or light, and to light that up on the globe as a gray or brown or greenish, darkish cloud. And then we took some breaths and we ohmed, and every time we ohmed, we imagined wherever we were, a huge, vast light expanding outward and just lightening that load all over the place. That's a prayer, too. It doesn't have to be Hail Mary, Our Father, Sacre-Cœur, whatever, you know. It doesn't have to be that. Prayer's about singing with the angels. Singing holy, holy, holy. All is well. All is right. All is light. May your soul sing throughout the week, and may it change the vibes, the invisible vibes, so that practical action is easier and more natural and obvious. If you missed it last week, the eclipse meditation is still up on Facebook, and I will be on John Hill's show on Sirius Radio on the 28th. It airs throughout the week if you're a Sirius subscriber, on Radio Andy, channel 102 on Sirius. And then at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, John and I will also be doing our call-in show, Let's Get Mystical, taking your calls, answering questions, shooting the shit, having a big old party of self-expression and love. Love you guys. I'll see you next week. Bye. Oh. Oops. It's gonna be worth it. Okay, great. I love it. Thank you, guides. So, it's basically saying I have the power to change through prayer, right? But they neutralized it because the powers and forces that work with me want everybody to be included. So there's no nothing in here. There's no denominational nothing. I have the power to change the vibe of anything and everything at all times through the focus of my attention and intention. I focus my attention on something else, and I intend that it be healed and lifted, blessed, held in its highest good with the best possible outcome for all involved. I have the power to change the vibe of anything and everything at all times through the focus of my attention and intention. Doesn't mean you're going to solve it, doesn't mean it's going to be over, doesn't mean it's going to be fixed, but maybe in that one moment, you and a few other 100,000 million people in the world will not be thinking about why? Because I have the power to change, even slightly, the vibe of anything and everything at all times through the focus of my attention and intention. Don't do anything to anyone. Sit back and wish them well. One of my teachers always said, too, in the highest good of all involved, with harm to none, let spirit take care of the details. You just sort of put that stuff in to cushion the free will exchange so that you're never doing, so that it's basically like, I've said this prayer for you. If that prayer is not in your highest good, then forget it. Then I said it anyway. And even if it doesn't work on the person or the situation or the thing, which it will contribute, but even if it doesn't obviously work, you are at the very least changing your vibe in that moment through this shifting of focus, through this shifting of attention, so that you can then do something practical to help resolve apparent differences into unity, to heal all hatred with shared love, and to clarify yourself and the world that you live in by taking practical steps to heal toxicity. And sorry, guys, the one thing about toxicity too is that the theory is that if we could clean out all the shit from our inner systems, then magically, like, the trash and pollution and nastiness in all of the rivers and oceans would cease to exist. It wouldn't need to be there anymore because we wouldn't have to learn about how to clean up the systems which purify our very beings. But for now, I have the power to change the vibe of anything and everything at all times through the focus of my attention and intention. Blessed be. Thanks for listening. See you next week.